Hello, everyone. My name is Kate Gawlik. I'm an associate professor at the College of Nursing. I'm also the director of undergraduate wellness academic programming, as well as the co-director of the Bachelor's of Science in Health and Wellness program here at Ohio State University. And I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about the LIVEWELL classroom and various strategies that you can use to incorporate wellness into your curricula and your courses. So at the College of Nursing, we have our LIVEWELL philosophy, which stands for Lead, Innovate, Vision, Execute, Wellness-Focused, Evidence-Based, Lifelong Learners, and Lights for the World. And this is really what we designed this to be off of. So we came up with this idea of what's called LIVEWELL Learning. And this is really an approach to how a classroom should look. So we use the model of the 10 dimensions of wellness to really focus on the various aspects that you can get of wellness. And then when we started to think about how to execute this, you really have to have leadership support from the top down. So to kind of think through that and then think of how it can be incorporated at the program level, at the course level, and then if it applies to also at the clinical level. So what makes a LIVEWELL classroom different from a normal classroom? So we try to have various criteria, but really we emphasize positive thinking and optimism with every class. We provide more opportunities for students to get up and move throughout the course and instead of just sitting through lectures. Encouraging healthy foods and beverages. We give frequent breaks. So we used to have this mentality, right, of we'd ask the students, do you guys want to take a break or do you just want to kind of push through? And we've really moved away from that now. Now we say we're taking a break. You know, everybody needs a break to help refocus and to get up and really kind of move your legs for a little bit in between these long sessions. We offer wellness activities and opportunities to participate in wellness throughout the course. And then obviously, you know, providing that environment that really is focused on collaboration and teamwork, partnership with the students, and obviously still maintaining our academic rigor and our hard work within the course. And I posed this to you, and I like this slide because I think, you know, when I was going through school and, you know, I think it still exists too, this mentality of, you know, like I am strict, I am inflexible, this is school, and, you know, there are no circumstances that warrant where you don't have a paper turned in on time. And now I think really we kind of moved away from that to more of like, this is a partnership. You know, I want you to do well. I want you to succeed. Again, not changing any of the academic rigor, but really, you know, fostering that relationship with the student to where they feel that you're on their side and you're not against them. So that's really what I challenge you is, you know, who do you want to be as an educator? And I think this kind of flows nicely into that. This quote on my teacher thought I was smarter than I was, so I was. You know, we can have these really high expectations, and but we can still be kind and flexible, and you know, work with our students versus working against them. You know, so how do we support our students the best in these environments? And we'll kind of talk through both the online environment, the in-person environment, and then the clinical environment, because they can all look pretty different. So if you go to this website, u.osu.edu Faculty Wellness Toolkit, LIVEWELL Learning, you can find a series of documents that you can print out. And there's one for in-person classroom, there's one for online, and then there's one for clinical setting. And it goes through each of the 10 dimensions of wellness and provides you with ideas of how you can incorporate this into that classroom setting. So that's just a good resource to know about. I often talk with my students about if they're all online. I talk to them about, you know, setting up their classroom. So looking at their environment, you know, trying to do things like remove clutter. So it helps, you know, your brain so you don't have to think about that. And then setting up their classroom. I refer them to this. It's a surf shelf. It costs $39.95. On Amazon, you can attach it to pretty much any exercise equipment piece that you have. And it's just a way to kind of get them up and moving as they're listening to maybe asynchronous lectures or while they're in a synchronous class. And I always, no matter what I'm doing, if I'm teaching synchronously, I invite them to stand up. And then I also put the caveat, it might not be for you today, but just kind of a prompt in case that works for you. And I also came up with this idea of lecture-sizing. So this is a lecture that incorporates exercise into it. And there's various variations of this. So this one, for example, I'll put up a picture of a beach and I'll say, okay, let's stand up and let's run or walk on the beach for 30 minutes. And then I put on some music and we all will stand up and do that. And this can work, both in asynchronous lectures as well as actually in person. This is just, again, another variation punching activity so they can, punch and, again, kind of listen to music during that time. And then we're all Buckeyes, so everybody loves to dance to Hey Sloopy, and we do that dancing in the shoe. So just some fun ways to kind of integrate some of this more physical activity in the classroom. So sometimes I'll do a 10 for 10 lecture. So every 10 slides, you do 10 reps of something. And then vary it and obviously, take into account and say, this isn't meant to be exclusive. If you have, disability issues, we can provide modified versions of these as well. This is also called a beautiful view lecture. So on each slide, I'll put a picture of some kind of pretty scenery, and then I'll say, okay, well, let's walk, while we talk about, for example, this one was body habitus and nutrition. I also in the past and currently have done an extra credit opportunity for students that incorporates wellness. And so I make this optional, but they do receive 0.2 points every week. They complete the activity. And they have to, at the beginning of the semester, identify for themselves one wellness goal for the term. And then each week, I design a brief wellness activity for that week. And I really kind of vary these, and try to incorporate the different dimensions of wellness into these. And they're meant to be short. So kind of these micro-learning modules or activities. Typically, I shoot for around 10 minutes or less. And then to receive credit, they have to do two things each week. So first, they have to submit to the Dropbox an overview of what they did that week for the wellness assignment. So even if they're not completing it, at least I know they've clicked on it and they had the opportunity to engage with it. So they have to submit that, and then they also have to put how they're doing with their wellness goal. And I tell them at the beginning of the semester, I don't care how you're doing with your wellness goal. It's just really a place to kind of refocus again on that goal and put it back in front of you. So they can put, I haven't done anything for my wellness goal, or hopefully it's the opposite, like, oh, I've been able to accomplish it 3 out of the 4 times this week, or however that looks. I try to use things and examples that incorporate family and friends. And then, like I said, I do vary the content. So I'll do example one week is they have to make a new healthy recipe. Or sometimes I'll put YouTube Just Dance videos where they have to complete 3 of those. And then sometimes I'll do guided imagery exercises or meditation exercises, so it really just kind of varies. And when I've looked at this and I've surveyed the students following the course, so you can see at the bottom, this was done in 2 different courses. I asked them, did you achieve your wellness goal? So you can see in the blue, we actually had a very large number of students achieve their wellness goal. And then interestingly, if you look at the gray, that's those who are close to achieving it. So between the 2 of those, we had a lot of students that actually were able to be successful with their wellness goal. This has been very well received. Students participate in this. I only had 4% that didn't participate in the first course and 7% that didn't participate in the second. And when I asked them, 95% said they wanted to continue them, And interestingly, 51% said they would still participate even if extra credit wasn't offered. So that's telling me this is something that the students do want. This model was also used in a cluster randomized intervention study, and we looked at the outcomes. And really what we found, so our control group, instead of doing the wellness activities, they did implicit bias activities. And at the baseline, both of these groups had comparable levels when we look at stress, anxiety, and then we also used what's called the Healthy Lifestyle Belief Scale. And so what we saw is we actually saw these positive trends in reducing both stress and anxiety and improved healthy lifestyle belief scores. But what was very interesting too is that our group that was in the wellness activity went down, but the group that was in the control or the control group, their anxiety and stress scores went up. So that was very positive findings. Another thing that we've done at the program level is we've done this thing called the Wellness Olympics. And so we put clinical groups against clinical groups. And so this is an activity that all of our students get incoming when they're coming into the college, both at the undergrad and grad level. And we put them clinical group against clinical group, and we have them track 4 wellness activities every day. And we usually do this for about 8 or 9 weeks that we do of the semester. And they have to track minutes of sleep, minutes of exercise, intake of fruit and vegetables, and minutes of stress reduction. And then our winners receive gift cards. So we give winning groups. So we do a gold medal, a silver medal, and a bronze medal. And they all get gift cards, and they get to use those throughout the semester. This is our Teaching Wellness Toolkit. So like I said, some of those resources that I referred to are on here as well, but this is really encompassing. We just redid it. It has a lot of great material as far as how you can incorporate these various strategies. And this isn't meant to be like you do every strategy on every dimension. You kind of pick and choose what you like, and you can trial different things. So the last thing I'll just touch on briefly is, this is best done in a culture that is supportive of wellness. So if you don't have that wellness culture, it can be harder to do and harder to implement. But really, when we're looking to support a wellness culture, we can do so through various aspects, right? And this can be a ground-up activity as well as a top-down activity. But, really inspiring authentic engagement. So grabbing those faculty who are doing things currently and giving them, recognition for that, celebrating those things, and kind of having that little cohort of people who feel really passionate about this. Encouraging and cultivating diversity of thought and supportive collaboration. Really taking time to respond to feedback that is given both from other faculty and the students to really improve on what we're currently doing for wellness. Celebrate small steps. So this isn't done overnight. Really, to have that culture of wellness, it can take many, many, many years to really have that infiltrated into your unit or your college or however that looks. And the ways that we've done this too is we have wellness work groups. We have open forums, faculty forums just on wellness. We often come to faculty meetings and do things around wellness like fun pantomimes, and we have them spin wellness wheels and everything, just again to kind of move this culture shift to show people that it's a priority. And we really reframe language. So focusing again on that positive spin and that positivity. And we do this also when we look at the culture, we can't help but look also at the community, right? And so we engage students, we do focus groups, topical discussions on wellness. So again, really utilizing the forums that we have. We do a rapid fire faculty forum where faculty get up and just talk about what they're doing for their wellness in their courses as like a rapid fire. And we do resource sharing And then we also do wellness teams. So we've done this within student pairs. We've done this within disciplines. And then we've also done this, as I discussed, with the Wellness Olympics challenge. Okay, well, that is all that I have for today. My colleague, Alice Teall, also works with me closely on a lot of these things. So I also have her email included, but please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. All right, take care.